Good afternoon, everybody. This is Wilderness Voice 71 coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about something I've talked about before. I've touched on another video when I was talking about Joseph being sold into slavery and about his coat of many colors. In that video, I established that the claim that I made is basically that Joseph was the Behor. And for those of you who do not understand that, he was the firstborn son. So in Semitic culture, in Judaism, the firstborn son got the favor of the father. He got half the inheritance and the right to rule. But you say, Joseph was born of Rachel. And Rachel did not have children for a long time. Yes, the original Behor was Reuben, which was Leah's firstborn son. And Reuben went into one of Jacob's concubines and had sex with her. So it was either Bilhah or Zipporah he had sex with, which negated his right to rule. This is why Joseph got sold into slavery, because Joseph was born much later, so a lot of his brothers are probably in their 30s and 40s. Joseph is 17, and he has the coat of many colors, or the striped coat, or the coat of royal apparel, whatever. We're not really sure what that translation means in Hebrew, but it established that he had authority over his brothers. That's why he did it. Jacob wasn't just saying, oh, I love him more, and this is what it is. No, he had the authority because Leah was contractually married to Jacob, and so was Rachel. The two concubines were not contractual marriages. So his obligation, that the right to rule, the right of the Behor, the right of half the inheritance, goes to the firstborn of the contractual marriage. Leah's son transgressed. Judah was next in line, but Judah was second-born. It would have to go to the next firstborn, which was Rachel's son, Joseph. And why am I rehashing this again in the video? Because I wanted you to make some connections here, because it's very important in the story of Jacob, when the story of Joseph when he goes to Egypt, and Jacob goes down there and he brings them all in, and the children of Israel, they take the land of Goshen and they raise cattle there, their sheep, their flocks and herds, and all that. But when Jacob was getting ready to pass on, he gave the right of the blessing. And he brought in, so who got the blessing? There were two people that got the main blessings. The first blessing went to Joseph. All his sons got blessings, but I'm going to the importance of these two. The son that got called in first was Joseph, because he was the Behor. And what did Jacob do? Well, for Joseph, what is important, that inheritance be passed on to his sons. So he positioned his sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, where the older one was to the right hand of Jacob's blessing, and Jacob crossed his hands and blessed the younger above the older. And Joseph said, no, Dad. No, you got your hands right. I said, no. The older will be a multitude of nations, but out of the younger will come the greatest nation. Okay? So the right of the wealth and inheritance and all that was given to Joseph's offspring. It's important. The next one that was the second most important, or probably ended up being the most important, I would say, is Judah. Judah was given the scepter of righteousness, that the one who has the right to rule will come through Judah. And that scepter of righteousness, we know, is Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah. Okay, so Judah got that blessing. Why is this so important? Well, this is why. If you do your research a little bit and look around, there is a lot of things that point that Ephraim and Manasseh are Great Britain and the United States. Now, do your own research. I've read about this for years and years, and I'll do a video. I've done some videos on this a little bit. And what's interesting about this is that the royal family of England believe they are of the line of David. How could this be? Well, because they believe, according to Irish history and Scottish history, that a holy man, after Judah fell, was taken away captive to Babylon, a holy man shows up to Ireland, to the tribe of the Tetrarch Dedanim, which means tribe of Dan, and their this Middle Eastern princess the holy man brought married the king's son, and that overturned to Scotland and then to UK. So the royal family is of that lineage, and there's actually, this is what they believe, and there's actually some evidence that shows this. When we look at, been some DNA testing on bones in Ireland. We do know that Phoenicians were in that area and also in the United States during those times. It was part of their trade routes. So because of the king of Tyre and Solomon's alliance, and that the king of Tyre built ships for the Israelites and taught the Israelites how to sail, we know that the Israelites more than likely were traveling the same routes. But that's another video. So I'll get to this point very quick, because the nation of Israel today is not Israel. The nation of Israel today is Judah. Okay? Now, it's actually Judah, the Levites, and Benjamin. Okay? Because those were all grouped in the inheritance of Judah. Because Levites were the God's portion. They had no inheritance they had no land. But so when Israel split from Judah, when the kingdom split, most of the Levites went back to Jerusalem and Judah and settled in Judah because of the golden calf situation. Because think about it, your Levites, your total purpose was serving Adonai. Also, some of the Israelites migrated into Judah when that split happened. But for the most part, the nation of Israel today is Judah, Levites, and Benjamin. So Israel, the nation of Israel today, is Judah. And why is this so important? Because, here's why. In 1948, when Israel became a nation, it takes two UN Security Council members to make them a nation. Within 8 seconds of each other, Great Britain and the United States voted them into existence. Because Judah is our brother. It's the way it is. Okay? Furthermore, the land of Palestine that we see today, we see all this fighting over the Gaza Strip, which is 7.5 miles wide by 20 miles length. That whole area, before Israel was granted, before Judah was granted that to be the nation of Israel, who owned it? The United Kingdom. They owned it all. They had the title to it. Okay, they had the deed. They won it from the Ottoman Empire when they defeated them. And so they had control of that land. And they gave that to what is now Israel. They had that land. So that's really important to understand that when you start understanding that God's blessings never, ever, ever stop. What God says, He will never depart from. Even though we screw up, even though we do dumb things, and we have to pay the price for them, but when God makes a promise, it always comes to pass, and everything that Adonai says is fulfilled. So hopefully this might inspire you to do a little bit of research and start looking around and start seeing, because there are marks and historical marks left throughout, all through Europe, that kind of lead us to this conclusion. Because we know that the tribe of Israel was disbanded by the Assyrians 140 years prior to Judah being disbanded by Nebuchadnezzar. A lot of those Israelites left. A lot of those Israelites escaped, went other places. Anyway, so I just want to put this out there. I'm going to hit you with some more videos. Something to think about for you, and I'll see you next time.